Lord have mercy, Jesus. What is really going on? America, I told you all in a previous video to hunker down, put your thigh-high boots on, because we are going to be knee-deep in feces. I told you that in the previous video. I believe it was the Biden versus Trump video. America, it is official. President Joe Biden has abdicated his campaign and has endorsed Kamala Harris for the Democratic nominee for President of the United States of America. At this point, I need Jesus to come back, or I need the aliens to beam me up, whichever comes first, because my honest opinion is that the leaders of the Democratic Party have handed Trump the victory. Everyone from Chuck Schumer, even former President Barack Obama, was hinting and suggesting that Biden should drop out. And don't get me wrong, I did not vote for Biden in 2020. I did not plan to vote for him this year. My choice for president is Dr. Cornel West. And by the way, if you have a moment, go to his website, www.cornelwest2024.com, to check out his platform. But I'm just wasting my breath. But you all are not going to vote third party. You all will not separate yourselves from the major two-party system. And to me, it is a tragedy because both parties have proven that they do not have our best interests at heart. When I say us, I'm talking about the black community. I'm speaking from the black community. I am a black man, and I believe that the writing has been on the wall for quite some time, but I tried to tell people. But it's funny because in 2016, when it was Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, I tried to say, listen, you all may not like Hillary Clinton, but you need to make sure she gets in office because you don't want what Trump has to offer. And you all didn't listen then. You all should let Hillary Clinton get the presidency back in 2016, I hate to say, if it was going to turn out to be this way. You all should have let her win. But hindsight is better than foresight now, isn't it? I was also going to talk about Trump surviving the assassination attempt, which I will, because I remember it was Saturday, the day before my birthday, and I was on the way home from Dunwoody, and I was seeing the reports that there were shootings at a rally that Trump was having in Pennsylvania, and of course I saw the video, and I said to myself, of course, a few minutes after it happened, I said, because Trump survived that assassination attempt, he is going to use it. He is going to milk it for everything that it's worth. And as sure as my name is Frederick, all of his supporters rallied behind him. Trump stated numerous times that he took a bullet for democracy, and that God was with him, and that it was I believe Senator Tim Scott, who I can't stand, he said it was a miracle. It was a miracle. So let me ask you, so the firefighter and the supporter that got killed, what about him? It was a miracle that your candidate survived, but you had little to nothing for Corey Comparator that lost his life. And the one thing I will say about Biden, he did call his widow, but the widow refused to take his phone call. Trump was out playing golf the day after and then preparing for the Republican National Convention. Took him a few days to call the widow, but Biden called her almost immediately. But yet the widow refused his phone call and said she felt more support from Trump, even though she also said, well, Biden has never done anything to me, but my husband wouldn't have wanted me to talk to him. Honestly, as I said before, you know how I feel about Biden. I feel like he has done little to help my community. I've even discussed his past rhetoric from busing immigration and dealing with crime in the 90s. But I believe this is the first time in my lifetime that a sitting president has been forced to abdicate from a re-election campaign. And my question to you all that are saying, oh, and it wasn't just the top Democratic leadership, it was many of you out there. I've seen your videos, I've seen your comments on social media saying that Biden should step aside and let someone else take over as the nominee. And now you all are saying that we should stand behind Kamala Harris. Well, let me ask you, where was that energy for Kamala Harris when she was running for president 4 years ago and she got 0 delegates? I just want to know, where was all of this support and this fire behind her when she was running for president 4 years ago, when you all didn't give her the time of day? And what's even more tragic is you knew that Biden was of a certain age. I mean, Trump is too, but to his supporters, that doesn't matter. Trump could be 105 and they'll still vote for him. But you knew that Biden was of a certain age and he was getting older 4 or 5 years ago. And you all knew that there was a possibility of him living into his 80s if elected for president. You knew that. And now here we are 4 years later. This man has been, it was his choice, but honestly, he was booted off the stage by the Democrats like the Sandman from the Apollo. And you all did it without a solid game plan. Well, you all should have been planning and strategizing 3 or 4 years ago. You let it ride. You let it ride. Whether he was doing a good job, a bad job, or indifferent, you all let it ride. And now here we are. We're almost 3 months away from the election. And now you all are scrambling. You're scrambling. In my honest opinion, this was all a setup. This was all a setup. The Democrats have handed Trump the election. And my honest opinion is, me personally, I know who I'm voting for. I know who I'm voting for. I know the candidate that I feel would be best equipped to run this country. But I have said this on Twitter. I said it is egregious how we have a brilliant Ivy League educated black man that has a platform and an agenda that aligns closely with our needs, and yet he is being overlooked. He's being completely overlooked. I think I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has gotten more media attention than he has. But my stance remains the same: win, lose, or draw. I'm voting for Dr. Cornel West. There is no way, in my opinion, that Kamala Harris can win the presidency. If you all didn't want her 4 years ago for president, I would like to know what changed in 4 years. What's going to change this time for her? And I know that there may be people in the Divine Nine watching this. There may be HBCU grads. But I feel like it's too little too late. But one thing about it, let's be very clear. A Donald Trump comeback to the White House would be more consequential and disastrous than his first term. If you all have taken the time to read, not all of it, but some of Project 2025, which Trump claims, oh, I have no idea what that is. We know that's a crock. We know that's a crock. But I guess the $1 million question is, how in the world did we get to this place? How do we get to this place where Trump may very well begin writing his victory speech? How do we get to the place where this man will have the opportunity to come back into leadership? I'm flabbergasted even while recording this. It's still, don't get me wrong, did I think Biden was equipped to run for president and to be the president and to lead? Absolutely not. But of course, as you all say, well, it's the lesser of two evils. My philosophy is evil is evil. Racist is racist, whether subtle or blatant. But I don't know what you all are going to do. I'm talking about the Democratic voters. I don't know what you all are going to do. But if you all, at this point, if you all don't want a Trump presidency, you're going to have to really rally together. You all are going to have to put your votes behind Kamala Harris, which I don't think will happen. I don't think there'll be enough Democratic voters to do that for her. But my theme song, and if you look at my Twitter page, my Instagram, my Facebook, there's a song. It's now become my theme song for the rest of this campaign and this election season. It's called "Get Me Out, Jesus" by Valerie Boyd. That is truly how I feel. Let Jesus just come on back. Let the sky crack. Let the trumpet sound. If Trump gets back in the White House, it is going to be a disastrous 4 years. And like I said, those of us who are black, brown, those of you all who are immigrants, those of you that work in diversity, equity, and inclusion, those of you all who are human rights supporters, civil rights supporters, a Trump comeback is not what you want. But I'm just going to sit back and wait. I will continue to watch the events as they unfold from today. And of course, when President Biden addresses the nation later this week, we have the Democratic National Convention that's on the horizon. But I'm going to keep my eyes open to see what else unfolds. But I will tell you this, if Trump does win, blame the Democratic Party. And honestly, I don't think Biden, either way, would have been terrible for him, because if he would have stayed in the race, received the official nomination, and then lost in November, you all would have blamed him for not stepping down. And now here he is officially stepping down from this campaign, endorsing Kamala Harris. And if Trump were to win, you find some way to blame him. So I don't think there was anything Biden could have done that would have made it better for him. So America, again, I say hunker down, stay prayed up, save your money, hope for the best, prepare for the rest, because we are truly getting ready to see the rest. We are about to see what happens when you allow a corrupt businessman, a habitual liar, and a bona fide bigot. This is what happens when you give that kind of a person an inch, and they won't just take a mile, they'll take the whole ruler from you. But all I can do is just continue to live my life, continue to make some money in this economy, continue to stand strong on my principles, and as my mother taught me at 7, to hold on to God's unchanging hands. Because ultimately, no matter who is the president, God is sitting on the throne. He sits high and he looks low. And again, I can say my theme song, "Get Me Out, Jesus."